Hey up everyone, welcome to the video on this very wet, cold and windy Wednesday in England. I hope you're all well out there, wherever you may be in the world at the moment. Tonight's video is going to be NRL and the round 5 tips for this week. So last week I got 4 out of 8. I was on course to probably get a perfect round or get maybe 7 out of 8. Once again I got railroaded fucking Gold Coast, bloody Newcastle, Cronulla winning, and that left me with 4 out of 8, so I got to do better once again. But I did better than the week before. The week before was horrid. This week was slightly better, still bad though. So I hope you're all well, and I'm going to get into the tips now. Now the times for these games, it's going to be UK time, so I'm going to read out the UK time for when I'll be probably watching it. So tomorrow, the first match is Manly Warringah against Brisbane, and this one's being played at the Central Coast Stadium. Kick-off at 10 to 11 my time. So Manly last week lost in very controversial circumstances. Brisbane, worst loss in their history. I don't know what the crack was there like. They got absolutely smashed. But in this game, I'm going to tip Manly. I think all week they would have been fuming over that result. They would have been absolutely fuming at the training ground. They'll be wanting to get out there tomorrow and they're going to rip in. I think they're going to win. On Friday, the first game kicking off at 9 o'clock in the morning my time at the same venue, the Central Coast Stadium, is New Zealand up against North Queensland. So both of these clubs lost their matches last week. New Zealand were awful, kept scoreless. North Queensland were good in patches, but they just didn't play for the 80 minutes. They were pretty ordinary against Cronulla. In this game, I'm going to go for North Queensland. I think North Queensland's going to get the win. Now, the next game, my club Parramatta against Isaac Ritchie's team Penrith, and this one's being played at 5 to 11 at Bankwest Stadium. So with this match, Parramatta 4 in a row at the moment, sitting top of the table. Penrith also playing quite well, 3 wins and a draw. I've learned my lesson from 2 weeks ago. I'm going to pick Parramatta for this match. It's going to be a tough game, I think. Penrith, they have a good chance of winning this match as well, but I've always associated Penrith with Forrest Gump. They're like a box of chocolates, you don't know what you're going to get. We'll see which Penrith shows up on Friday night against Parramatta. The first game on the Saturday, Super Saturday, is South Sydney against the Gold Coast. And this one's being played at 6 o'clock in the morning. So, well, that's when I start work. I start work at 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. Gold Coast won their first match in 364 days last week. South Sydney, it was like the ball was coated in baby oil or butter or something like that. They just couldn't hold onto the ball against Melbourne. But for this match, I'm gonna go for South Sydney. I think South Sydney's going to win this game over the Gold Coast. The following match is between two of my most hated clubs, Newcastle against Melbourne. This one's being played at the Central Coast Stadium at 8:30 in the morning. Newcastle shocked a lot of people last week, played quite well, beat Canberra, and Melbourne also won against South. For this game, I'm going to go with Melbourne. I think Melbourne's going to win this match. Not going to be by a lot, but I think they're going to win. And the final game on Super Saturday sees West Tigers up against Canberra. This game kicks off at 10:35 at Campbelltown Stadium. So a home match for the West Tigers. West Tigers, they had that game last week and they blew it. Probably I'd say it's one of the darkest days in the club's history, losing to the Gold Coast. Benji Marshall's been dropped for the match. Canberra, I thought that they would have been up for it playing against Newcastle, but they ended up getting flogged. They didn't play quite well. I'm going to go Canberra to win this match. I think Canberra's going to win this game 13 plus. I think Ricky Stewart would have he would have torn the door off the change room the other week. He would have been absolutely fuming him. On Sunday, first game is Canterbury Bankstown against Eastern Suburbs or the Sydney Roosters. This one's being played at Bankwest Stadium at 7:05 in the morning. I've done a video on these two clubs before, the rivalry video. It's a very competitive rivalry, goes all the way back to 1935. And I think if Canterbury's not careful, I think East can put on the score like they did in 1935 when they beat Canterbury by nearly 80 points. So I'm going to tip the Sydney Roosters, Eastern Suburbs, to win this game. I think they're going to win 13 plus. I think they're going to do it quite comfortably. And the final game on the Sunday and the close off the round is St George against Cronulla Sutherland. This game's being played at Campbelltown at 9:30 in the morning. So St George, they've been in the papers for the last couple of weeks. They've been absolutely diabolical, absolute shite. Paul McGregor, everyone thought he was going to get sacked after losing to Canterbury. He's managed to keep his job. They're going to do a review in the next 4 weeks. Cronulla won their first game of the year last week against North Queensland up in Townsville, so they'll bring a lot of confidence out of that match. I just don't see things getting better for St George. I think things are going to go from bad to worse for them. They just look devoid of confidence, devoid of ideas. They're in real danger of coming last for the first time since 1938. So I'm going to go Cronulla to win this match. It's a derby game. It's a unique derby game because it's being played at Campbelltown, neutral territory, and St George is under a lot of pressure, and I just don't see him winning. I think Cronulla's going to win. So that's me tips for round 5 of the 2020 NRL season. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please click that like button. If you're enjoying the content that I'm making, click that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you get an email when I do a new video. But as always, everyone, look after yourselves. I hope you enjoy the match tomorrow between Manly Warringah and Brisbane, and I'll catch you all later. Alright, ta-ra.